setting as Deep Space Nine about 2 years after the Dominion War. Previously on Empires and Embers, Dracoon beamed over to a doomed Dominion ship, Executive Cruiser 216, moments before a core breach and saved it with time to spare. In so doing, he earned a fanboy, a Paradan engineer named Bajan. Joel sent information to Starfleet Command to arrest a Starfleet Academy professor, Sabe Traz, who had sent a cadet to assassinate Dracoon. Barbara Draper had helped GEM executives trace a fortune that had been stolen by Keen. It left many trails, including an old bird of prey, Keepak, in the Mutara sector. And Barbara has now established a solid backdoor into GEM computer systems. When a squadron of GEM ships crossed back into Federation space, secretly tailed by your crew and USS Defiant, Vita demanded that they file a flight plan, and that flight plan happened to head straight to the Mutara sector. And in getting this information, Vita asked the advice of Droff's brother husband, Captain Garl. Captain Garl, in return, asked Vita's advice on getting to know that intelligence officer Barbara Draper a little better. And now, let's start this week's adventure.
Wait, intelligence officer? I'm out?
That's how he referred to you.
Well, crap.
So, you've got the USS Defiant tailing, staying cloaked, tailing these GEM ships. And if you're going to continue tailing them, and if they are really headed where they say they are headed, this voyage is going to be a couple of weeks long. So you're tailing them, then all of a sudden, no, they don't change course. Approaching near the Davlos 3 system, you pick up a mayday. You're continuing on heading 141 toward the Mutara sector. You pick up a mayday. A Federation transport ship has become damaged, and they need assistance. So we are on, this is Defiant. So we've got Mani, Bob Newhart, and Laplock on board this ship. Take a minute to think about what you're going to do when you get this mayday.
Oh. I'm going to increase our sensor. Let's see here. Laplock. All right.
Yeah, you're playing Laplock on this ship, and we've got. Oh man! Last time I ended with so much threat. All right. So, what do you think you're? Let's say it is. I'm the game master. I don't think we made any changes to that last time. So, Mani, you're in command of the ship.
Mm-hmm. What was the type of ship that was doing Mayday again?
It's a Federation transport, a freighter.
So, okay.
The approaching Davlos 3. It's in that area. You're still cloaked, and the ships you're following don't know that you're there.
And would we have to uncloak to contact them?
You'd probably have to uncloak to rescue them, but
oh, damn it.
So this is Phil, you've got a character there. Bob Newhart is also there.
Oh, okay.
This is Monty, Bob Newhart, and Laplock. So this is Ella, Phil, and Darren
Okay.
on board the Defiant.
I could probably do something with our deflector dish so that we could scan the location of the distress call without revealing our presence to the ship we're following.
All right, let's do that.
All right,
I'd hate to,
go on, Ella.
I'd hate to stop tailing these guys, but if there's a Federation transport that needs our help, it's our duty to help them.
Okay.
Okay, Doug, I'm going to want you to get ready to throw down a threat and get ready to roll the opening credits. So throw down a threat right now, please. And no. Remove a threat. I'm spending a threat, not adding a threat. Yes. Okay. I have just spent a threat. The ships you're tailing just changed course toward Davlos 3. The ships you're tailing are responding to the distress call saying, "Don't worry, a rescue is on its way." Roll the opening credits. And so, on the bridge of the Defiant, Monty just Monty, I guess. Bob Newhart and Laplock weren't there. Monty, you are pretty sure you recognize that voice. You think it's the Dosai named Keen who said, "Don't worry, we're on our way to rescue you."
Well, damn it.
Wasn't the Dosai named Keen the one everyone was looking for?
Yeah, Monty actually met Keen.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so long ago.
Well, that's the one where he teleported out and then something blew up on the station, and then everyone was looking for, he showed up at on the other side of the wormhole with a fleet. Wasn't that right?
Yes. The Dosai Keen actually had a founder apparently give her lots and lots and lots of authority in the Dominion.
I think we may want to, if that's Keen, I think we may want to arrest her in suspicion of terrorist activities.
So we'll have to decloak and make ourselves known.
Well,
But we also have to make sure that the transport will be okay.
Yeah, there's a transport here, and you can see, yep, this is the real thing. There's a transport that's had main power failure. These 4 Dominion ships are responding. And remember, this is 2 executive cruisers and 2 Jem'Hadar warships. They probably outgun you. And they, so far as you know, don't know you're following them.
Right.
So are you going to observe? Are you going
We're gonna
to
observe her.
come warping right up and say, you're under arrest? What are you going to do?
No,
Well,
we're gonna observe. We're gonna observe.
make sure that, you know, there aren't any lives at stake.
Yes.
Okay, then you're observing and you see these 4 Dominion ships pull up to the stricken Federation vessel. They beam some people over. You don't observe any weapons fire. Seems like routine communications.
How similar is this to the pirate raid we stumbled into on another? That was a while ago, but different circumstances. Okay.
And as near as you can tell from the communications between them, these Dominion ships actually are rescuing that Federation transport.
All right. We're just gonna sit back and watch.
Okay. While you sit back and watch, let's zip to the action in the Gamma Quadrant. So, Starship 11, that's Droff, Jal, Dracoon, and Eyal. You are approaching, if you'll recall, the Eon Norina system. Oh, and actually, I should probably bring that up. I have that. Are you able to see my PowerPoint, or did we lose that screen?
We lost that screen.
All right, then don't worry about it. Oh,
No, I
Oh,
see
wait,
it.
there it is.
oh yeah, there it is. Okay.
It wasn't there before.
Yeah. All right. So we left off. I had this really cool animation. It was really fun making an animation in PowerPoint. I had no idea that that was possible. But what you want to see is that last slide there. There is a space station orbiting that planet. And for those who don't remember, this is a burned out system, burned out about 42,000 years ago, apparently by the same Pa-Wraith sort of thing that started burning through solar systems in the Dominion until it was stopped. And this planet is the one where they observed a statue of, they found statues of Bajorans, and which seemed very strange in this 40,000-year-old statues of Bajorans in the Gamma Quadrant. They found a statue of a human, and they found a statue of a Vorta. In fact, it was a Dracoon clone. It was a Dracoon clone dressed in a Bajoran work jumpsuit.
The emissary.
And the human looks a lot like Cisco. And these statues are 40,000 years old. You're approaching this planet where that stuff was discovered, and you see there is now a starbase orbiting it. And it ain't one of yours.
One of ours being Dominion or Federation.
It's not Federation. It is a Dominion technology thing.
Well.
And as you are entering the system, Starship 11 gets hailed. Who's responding to the hail?
Who's on comms?
Uh,
Right.
well,
Okay. Well, I'll respond to the hail.
okay. Droff is the one with the keys to the ship. He kind of owns the ship. But okay, you are being hailed. It is a Dosai in a business suit. Starship 11, I am DNAC, supervisor of this field office. Well, we do not recognize your registration. You should understand this sector is the wholly owned providence of Geta Enterprises Multiplicities. If you are here on GEM business, please transmit your GEM credentials. Otherwise, we request that you conduct your business in another sector.
All right. Do I have? Where's Barbara? Is she with me? Or is she with the other ship?
Barbara, unfortunately, is back at Deep Space Nine.
All right, but they do not recognize our registration because we're, as far as I know, a fully registered science vessel.
You are a Dominion science vessel. You are not a GEM ship.
GEM being the corporation. Okay.
Yes, yes. You at least you don't. They can't tell. You don't appear to be a GEM ship.
Okay.
Now remember, the wormhole is. You're not far from the wormhole. At maximum warp, the wormhole is only about an hour away. At this
And we're
point,
in the Gamma Quadrant, right?
you are in the Gamma Quadrant. It's not like you can pick up the phone and call Deep Space Nine.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So what are you going to do?
I have an idea.
Well, what was your idea? Because right now I'm just basically on, oh, we're just an innocent science vessel conducting scientific research.
Well, I was going to say the fact that that's probably a statue of me down there.
Oh, okay.
Put all the cards on the table.
Well,
Well, we have no legitimate business beyond that being here. So there's a mystery. They might want to help untangle that.
at
when you
the
hail-
very least, we can put you on the view screen and say, "Oh yes, I see you are guarding my statue."
Well,
Now,
so let's,
Oh, no, here we go. I got this. How about we hit them with? Yeah, we understand you filed this claim. However, we believe there may be a prior claim to this system, and you may be in violation of cultural appropriation statute such and such. Yes, we're investigating a claim of cultural appropriation.
Well,
Yeah.
and you've got proof that maybe it belongs to Dracoon
Yes.
sitting right down there.
is this what you're going to do?
are we going to go with the
Yeah,
previous
let's
claim?
throw this out there and say
Investigation into a previous claim?
we'll just say
Or,
yeah, we're just on a routine. It's just a annoying legal thing that it's probably nothing, but there is a cultural appropriation claim filed on this system, and we're just investigating the merits of the claim.
From who? Or whom?
Yes.
That's going to be the
But,
first thing they
yeah.
ask is from whom.
All right. If you're going to pull that, I'm going to make you make a roll.
Of course.
And this will be
you
an
wanna know-
opposed roll. It's going to be difficulty 2, presence plus command, Droff.
All right, and then who's making the claim? I would assume one of the Bajoran factions.
So tell me what your claim is. Tell me what you're saying, and then make your roll, and I'll make the opposition for DNAC.
Let's see.
Or DINAC, I think I decided it was.
I've got cultural flexibility. Were any of my wives or husbands lawyers?
Don't think we ever established a lawyer in your family.
All right. I'm looking at my wives, and let's see. No.
No, you've got to. If you got any, if you had one that had something useful, you would probably have a focus to go along with it.
Okay.
And it's a long shot to think you would know Gamma Quadrant law, Dominion law.
I still
Well,
think
I
go
have
with the help
I have
investigate a mystery.
I have a Vorta with me who's probably much more familiar with Dominion law.
He probably is more familiar than you are.
What was the faction with the children that we thought was smuggling?
Oh, the Temple of the One Troop Emissary?
Yeah, let's claim that's where the claim of cultural appropriation is from.
Okay, so just to let you know, they're going to say this is the Gamma Quadrant, and there's no claims that are going to work.
What would work? Like, what would be the legal authority here?
Right now, they're the legal authority. They own this place.
Yeah. Normally it would be the founders. For generations, for thousands of years, it's been the founders.
Yeah, I don't think we can go in any sort of opposition with GEM on this. We have to go and manipulate them into working with us.
Okay. So we're claiming that we want this legal thing to go away and we need their help?
No, I just don't think the legal thing's going to work at all.
Okay.
They're just going to instantly dismiss it and dismiss us because there's absolutely no grounds for anything.
All right. Where's GEM getting their funding from?
We don't know.
Actually, I thought Barbara had done some research on that. On who the betting was being manipulated by. We could claim that one of their investors is threatening to pull his money out, and they wanted some questions answered.
Okay. What does it have to do with this? Is
I don't
what
know.
they're going to ask.
Also, remember, Ella, you're there also.
Which character?
Eyal.
Okay.
Right.
Well, we could claim we're searching for stolen property.
No. But I don't
That's a really good question.
Hey, is my threat sense picking up anything talking to this guy?
Oh my. Yeah. Yes. Your The delay in responding to this, the docile is calling. What's it going to be, Starship 11? And
Oh.
your threat sense is starting to respond.
Okay, so we're a science vessel. We need to play up just investigation, not legal investigation, investigating those statues. Like
Okay.
the fact that the founders would be very interested in how those came to be in the Gamma Quadrant, which is probably true.
Okay, but again, why would we be here investigating the gem property?
We're not. We're investigating the statues on the planet.
Uh-huh.
It's actually has the benefit of being the truth.
Okay.
I'll
just
say
have to
on behalf
spin it a little
of
bit.
Jal, since Adam's not here, Jal would say, "Boy, I wish we had Barbara with us right now."
Yeah.
Alas, she can only
But
be
she's
in
not
one
here.
place at a time.
Yes.
She's only an hour away by wormhole.
Hey, my spidey sense is starting to tingle here, so we got to answer this.
All right. Droff, just let me talk to him and see what I can do.
Okay. Yeah. Tell them we're investigating some. Is this cultural artifacts on the planet's surface? There may prior claim they're not going to care.
Okay. All right, so we'll go through to the. Put me on the viewer.
No, here's what we claim: a significant a Bajoran investment group has discovered there are some artifacts on this, and they are extremely interested in more information, and extremely interested meaning latinum.
Okay, we'll run with that.
All right, who's going to make this claim?
I will.
You will. All right, so let's look at your character sheet.
I'm manipulative.
That's true, you are.
I'm a crafty deal maker,
What?
though.
Borda are not manipulative. They are just very careful in their words.
We just make it so that people know how to assist us. So, what was the name? Dika?
Dynak.
Dynak. So,
Dynak, and we'll say this one's a male. Or we'll say it's a male. Dynak. So one of those wearing a wife beater, orange face, muscular, kind of cross between a Klingon and a Ferengi business people.
So, Gem Representative Dynak, I believe it is.
Yes.
We are here to possibly make some latinum for your company and ours.
Go on.
It seems upon this planet there are some artifacts.
How did you hear about those? How's he reacting to that? Oh,
Wait, quick question. Is Dracoon actually on the screen? So can they see
Yeah.
him?
Yes, that's
So
part
do
of
they
the.
know he looks
yeah.
like the statue?
That would be a hell of
Well,
a stretch.
Yeah.
they know he looks like a Dracoon clone.
Okay.
He's one of the Dracoons.
So, does it matter where we found out our information? All that matters is that not only do we know, but there are some investors with deep pockets and lots of interest. Now, actually, what I need to know is, are you qualified to make this discussion, or is there someone higher up I need to talk with? What are your qualifications within the gem company?
I am the supervisor of this office. All right, now I need you to make a roll.
Okay.
Dracoon, you're rolling your presence plus command, which is better than Droff's, and I think you can use your manipulative talent. Let's look up manipulative.
You think?
Oh, that's right. I'm using the wrong mouse again.
And while he's doing that, I'm gonna send a message back to Deep Space Nine, and basically tell Barbara we need a fake consortium of really rich Bajorans, like created just in case they check.
That may not be a really good idea to send that over a channel that's not real secure.
Yeah, and you'll have to go to the wormhole to contact Deep
You're
Space Nine.
You're right. We'd
You
have to
could
go
be
through
there in
it.
an
Okay.
hour, but you're not there.
That's true.
So,
I don't think we have any. Oh, we have 2 momentum, huh? Is it worth
isn't
it
he
to
wanted
use
to
one of
spend
them
one?
for this?
Well, what are you normally rolling? 2 dice,
Well, 2
and then
dice.
it's what control and
Well, I rolled. Well, we didn't say it ahead of time, so we'll just go with it. I rolled a 7 and 11. And we have to
All right.
remember ahead of time that manipulative and others, you have to do it. You have to say it ahead of time.
Okay.
So 7-11.
I have
Should
a
be 2
focus
successes.
in crafty deal making. Could I help Dracoon in any way?
we're not to the deal part yet, but that's a good opening though.
there's a Vorta. All right, manipulative. If you purchase D20s with a task to mislead, deceive, or withhold information, you may re-roll your entire dice pool. Oh, so if you do spend a momentum to do this, and you get 3 dice to roll, and if you don't like what those 3 dice say, you can roll them again.
Well, we didn't say ahead of time that which is what you need to do for momentum rolls, right?
Well, I hadn't finished looking up your
Okay.
skill yet.
How important do we think this is? Should we spend one of
Well,
our
I'm
2 momentum?
Well, you already rolled 2 dice, and
Yeah,
I assume you got 2 successes.
Yeah. We'll just leave it at that.
All right, then I'll roll the opposition. Yeah. Well, you're not completely successful.
Hmm.
Okay.
So let me scroll down here again. Where were we? Dynax says, I am not at liberty to disclose whether there are any alien technologies, I mean cultural artifacts on this planet that we are investigating, but they are the solely owned providence of Geta Enterprises Multiplicities. And so if you do not leave this system immediately, we will take action. And you see Droff is there, probably on the sensors.
Yeah.
There's a Jem'Hadar fighter undocking from that base.
Okay.
Oh, well, that is a shame for our business. it's also going to be a shame because the founders are highly interested in artifacts that are, well, out of time, as we shall say. But Dynac, is it? Supervisor
Dynac,
Dynac.
yes.
I will make sure that I pass that on, that GEM isn't allowing access to such fascinating things.
GEM is conducting an investigation under the authority of the founders as ordered by Keene.
Well, this investigation, do you happen to have any experts for it?
We have excellent experts, and when the corporation is prepared to publish our findings, you will have access to them.
I see. Can I tell you what 3 of the statues look like? There is a Bajoran with a beard, looking older, somewhat dignified. There is a human, bald, the goatee. And the other statue is me.
That's fascinating, but you could have obtained that information from someone at Geta Enterprises Multiplicities. We've had people studying this planet for some weeks now. And since you are not a representative of Geta Enterprises Multiplicities, I will ask you one more time to conduct your business in another sector. There are plenty of sectors here in the Gamma Quadrant, or go to an Alpha Quadrant sector. I hear that's a very lovely place.
So, hitting the mute for a second. We got
Yeah.
nothing, guys.
You did come really close on the die roll, but
So
and
we
yeah,
can-
there's a Jem'Hadar ship that is looking right down your throat right now.
Yeah.
we
we got
can try and
nothing.
up the stakes here, or we can head back to the wormhole and maybe regroup. I don't know.
We're going to have to head back. We got nothing here. They hold all the cards.
Will we know some more information about what's going on here?
It doesn't seem to matter. He's already played you could have gotten any of that from a GEM employee. Anything else we throw will be met with that argument.
Okay.
Well, we're kind of out of time, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we
right.
can head back.
Okay, so Supervisor Dynac, noted. We will move on.
All right. Thank you.
Should you need us or me for anything, you may leave a message at Deep Space Nine.
Oh. So this is that Starship 11.
Yes, it is an Olathe.
The one that was sold to the Nagus.
It has moved.
He may be tipping his hand here. Is there
Interesting.
anything on board that is
Okay, well, thank you
unusual?
for doing
Yeah.
business with Geta Enterprises Multiplicities.
Why would he
Have
be
a nice
interested in this-
day.
Why would he be interested in this ship and the Nagus being involved?
No clue.
Okay. All right. Well, we can head back, regroup, maybe come back later with something more interesting.
It's going to be tricky since we already laid the groundwork for one thing.
Yeah. We could go back and ask Barb to cook up something impressive that might shake him up a little.
We'll have to think on that. So.
Okay.
All right. Did not expect it to be owned by Gem.
Okay.
That threw a wrench in the works.
Okay, meanwhile, back on Deep Space Nine. You've got a lot of representatives of a lot of empires who are aboard the station. They were here to do business with the GEM office before it blew up. And among those representatives, two people who will want to come straight to, who want to make an appointment with Vita. Vita, will you take an appointment from the Gelmares?
Of course. It is always good to make reacquaintances.
Yes, because you were friends 6 years ago. You saved their lives twice.
Yes, one would hope they remember that.
Yeah. So let me call them up. I should have done that before. All right, I'll have to take a shot in the dark. Okay, this is Povina Gelmare, who is the senator. And shoot, I know I established everything about the husband. Alir Gelmare, who is a industrialist, a Romulan industrialist. So they're a very important family. And the two of them would like to meet with you.
Of course, welcome them into my ready room.
Okay. Vita, it is good to see you again. We have brought you a small gift, a bottle of Romulan ale. Hope you like it.
Thank you so much. This is incredibly kind of you. Please come, sit down, make yourself comfortable.
We came here on business of the Empire. The Praetor sent us to negotiate for the acquisition of warships. We seem to be kind of late to the game. Everybody else got to meet with GEM before they were blown up.
You may be at an advantage having been late. There seems to be some unsavory elements in Geta Enterprises that we are investigating. You may want to wait.
What can you tell us about this? We would like to report back to the Praetor.
There were some troubling patterns of acquisitions that imply some type of coup. So please exercise caution. I do not have enough information at this time to make public, or I surely would, if you understand my meaning.
Yes, of course.
So
So,
you could
what-
you could get the Romulans involved in a very unfortunate multi-quadrant war if you got involved.
it sounds like if a multi-quadrant war may happen regardless, and we will be at a disadvantage as we do not have a contract to acquire these high-tech and inexpensive warships.
Yes, well, the war is being engineered. It doesn't seem to be occurring naturally.
Do you have a plan to prevent the war?
We are working on it, but if you have anything that you can offer assistance or any insight, it would be very helpful.
How is this war being engineered?
Are you familiar with Earth in the early 20th century?
I'm not even going to roll for that. No, they don't know
Yeah.
Earth history in that kind of detail.
Or and I'm like, it is a pattern that repeats in many worlds, but humans seem to be particularly vulnerable to it. The secret alliances of mutual support that create a web that when war breaks out, everybody has to go to war. Are you familiar with that particular pattern?
Yes, I suppose so. That does seem like a pattern that is developing right here.
Yeah, so Get
Oh.
Enterprises appears to have facilitated such agreements, then flooded the market with cheap weaponry, then conveniently blown up some people in order to create political tensions and possibly trigger a war. We currently have the Federation negotiating with the parties to avoid any such war, but there's lots of money floating around that really does look like they are trying to leverage the opportunity into, or at least some people within Get Enterprises. It's not clear everyone is in the know. Leverage the opportunity into a larger political gain.
It's a brilliant strategy.
It's a disturbing strategy, which no moral person would do. Would we agree? Not even.
Yes, I
not-
suppose we would agree with that. Nevertheless, the cunning of this strategy is admirable.
Well, it would be helpful if you put the brakes on anybody you have personal contact with to make them aware that they're being played for suckers at this point.
Well, the Romulan Star Empire has representatives that are at this moment attending several of those Alpha Pact talks at various parts of the Alpha Quadrant.
Oh, that's
We have
disturbing.
nothing to do with that. We are here to acquire warships.
My question is how vulnerable are those talks?
I couldn't tell you. That's a security question for the military.
Well, here's hoping they
Possibly.
did their job.
Possibly the Tel Shiar.
Yeah, I have to say, I am not sure those ships were being sold in good faith, and you are not in a good position having been behind the ball, and you're really not in a good position to be buying now. I would not be standing there holding those ships if I were you.
I see.
That is my advice. But Andorians see things differently than other races, so you may choose differently.
Well, thank you. We're planning on having dinner with our daughter a little later, but perhaps tomorrow we could have lunch.
I would appreciate the opportunity. Knowing how unsettled things are, if you have heard anything odd, please, I appreciate hearing anything you may know.
Anything odd?
Outside of the possibility that the founders of the Dominion are currently being held captive on their homeworld. Anything like that.
Okay. I'm going to make you make a roll here.
Okay.
There's your character sheet. And this is going to be presence plus command.
I do have diplomacy and politics.
Okay, then use that.
I don't know how to use it. What do I do with it? Oh, I double the success. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get to double your successes.
Okay,
using
so I
your
need to roll a 15 or under.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got one success. So double that, that's 2 successes.
Okay. What you're asking is very unusual, and Romulans being suspicious by nature, what you're asking is suspicious. But we know you, and because of our history together, we will trust you. And if we hear anything, we will make sure to let you know immediately.
I am very appreciative. I have always tried to be honest with you.
Okay, and now we're going to go try to find Phaedria. We've brought a little surprise for her.
I am sure she will be thrilled to see you.
Okay, Dr. Smith, are you online here?
Oh, I'm
here.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
Okay, so you are, let's say you're hanging out with your girlfriend this afternoon on the promenade.
Why, yes.
Her communicator rings, and it's mommy and daddy.
Okay.
And she says, oh, let's go meet with them. They
Meet
want
with
to
your-
get together at the bar. Could we go to Quark's? Have a drink?
Yes, sure. If you think that's wise.
Well, they finally made it to the station. We can't avoid them.
Who doesn't want their kid to be with a doctor?
You know what? When you put it that way, you're right. Who wouldn't? Yes, let's do this. Let's meet your parents.
Okay, they're on their way to the bar right now.
God help us all.
So you're already on the promenade. So you could probably, let's say you can beat them to Quark's. And we'll put you in charge of, do you sit at the bar or do you get a table?
Oh, we're going to get a
And
table.
What do you order?
Hold on a second. Why, Romulan ale, of course.
Are you sitting at the bar or are you getting a table?
Well, we're getting a table.
Okay.
We're not going to take the Romulan ambassador and sit him at the bar. That will never do.
Oh, okay.
First off, I'm going to ask Phaedra. They're not like teetotalers or anything, right? Romulan ale will work, right? They like Romulan ale, right?
They do indeed like Romulan ale. And 5 years ago on the Rumford, they kind of developed a taste for Klingon blood wine also.
Well then,
Yeah, we had a great time at Gach Night.
oh man, Gawk Night. I could tell you some stories about
That was
Gawk Night.
wild.
Wow. Man, there was this one time that Newhart and I, we were in Shirley. Oh, anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, let's get some blood wine.
Oh, so you're going to get both?
Yes, we're going to get both.
Okay.
Nameless Game Master, we're getting both.
So let's look at your character sheet. I don't want to make you roll for this. We're going to say that you look up and you see them before she does. And it's pretty easy to recognize the two fancy, important Romulans on the upper deck of the promenade coming in your direction. And there's a third Romulan with them, a young woman who's about the same age as Phaedria.
Does she look similar? Familial? Does she look like, dare I say it, an identical twin?
No, not an identical twin.
Damn! Okay. Okay, maybe like Phaedria. Who's that with your parents? I think I see your parents.
And she looks up and she says, "Ah, it's Masira! It's Masira! Ah, she's my BFF!" And the young woman Romulan hears this, and she also reacts and comes running down the promenade, and the two of them just hug each other.
Wow, that's pretty emotive for Romulans. So this new BFF, is she hot too?
Well, yeah, she is.
Oh man, do not blow this opportunity, Mando. Opportunity knocks, answer the door. All right, I'm gonna collect myself.
All right, so Anaximander, I want you to meet my cousin Masira. This is Masira Kretak,
Okay,
daughter of Senator Kretak.
I give sort of like a very distant and formal bow and pleased to meet you. I'm Dr. Anaximander Smith, Chief of Medicine on DS9.
Oh, oh my God.
What did you roll, Mike?
2 critical successes. Oh, and so she
digs me, doesn't she?
She turns to Phaedria and says, "Oh, he's cute and so much nicer than that other Starfleet doctor."
Which other Starfleet doctor was this?
Oh, that Starfleet doctor on the Rumford, who was played by Katie.
Okay. Inwardly, Dr. Smith is just going, "You dog. She digs you too." Okay, but got to keep my game face on.
And so the parents are coming down, much more dignified way, coming down the stairs to the level you're on on the promenade. And so you're already in advantage. You're in an advantage situation because Masira reacted so positively to you. But you now have 5 people and you got a table for 4. What is your strategy?
My strategy is seat all 4 of them and tell Quark to bring another chair for me.
Okay. You're on good terms with Quark, so he's going to do that.
Awesome.
So,
the question here is, Phaedra going to introduce me to her parents, or do I need this?
Actually, the matriarch, Povina, asks her to make introductions. Phaedria, would you introduce us to your friend? And she says, this is Dr. Anaximander Smith. He is the chief medical officer here at Starbase Deep Space Nine.
And I give them a very formal bow. Or whatever it is they taught me at the academy is how to greet dignitaries from foreign powers.
Okay, and that's the situation you're in. You've now got, as you might expect, a lot of people in the bar and maybe even throughout the promenade are looking at what's happening at your table. This is a real Alpha Quadrant powerhouse you've got accumulated there.
Okay. Well, what are the names of her parents?
And she says, Anaximander, this is my mother, Povina, and my father, Alir Gelmir. Povina is a senator in the Romulan Imperial Senate. And
Senator, I'm honored to make your acquaintance.
Likewise, Doctor. It must be fascinating being stationed at such an important post as this space station.
I've only been at the post for a short while, but it has been a very interesting assignment so far.
I'm sure you have some exciting stories to tell from your career here and throughout Starfleet.
I have several stories. Where would you like me to begin? It's an embarrassment of riches in Starfleet.
Well, what did you do during the war?
Well, after my first Starfleet assignment I was part of the medical staff on the USS Enterprise under Jean-Luc Picard, where I got some practical exposure to treating Borg assimilation. After that, Yes. So after my stint on the Enterprise, I then switched to the USS Millard Fillmore, and we were on the Rimward Spectre. We were doing exploration work on the far edge of the galaxy. Unfortunately, I was nowhere near this sector of space when most of the Dominion War came out. We were busy fighting. I spent most of the last year, in fact, dealing with with a runaway plague that had run in a star system that had just come into just joined Starfleet.
Oh, that's amazing. And you dealt with the Borg. Oh, the Borg are so scary. And you see Masira is nudging Phaedria saying, he's a hero.
That's right, I am. But anyways, so I spent the last I am still trying to get up to speed on the particulars of the Dominion War and the various details of Starfleet's interaction with them and with Bajor and the Cardassians. I'm getting there, but I'm not quite up to speed yet. Again, for the last year, I was hip deep in trying to deal with the plague, and the Dominion War was something that we heard about on the far edge of the galaxy. That it was something that, from our perspective, it was a border skirmish that really had no particular possibility of it bleeding through into the edge of space that we were at.
Oh, I see. So, tell me, is there anything to these rumors that the Cardassians might be gearing up for war against the Federation?
Senator, would you like my honest opinion?
Okay. What's your honest opinion?
My honest opinion, and bear in mind that I'm just the doctor. I'm not a high-ranking executive. I'm not someone with a particularly high security clearance, but I have been involved in some of the shenanigans that have gone down at this space in the last couple of weeks. And my honest opinion is that if the Cardassians are gearing up for war, they're not the only ones gearing up for war, and they're not doing it on their own. They're being manipulated by something.
And Phaedria says, "Oh, Mother, he's just being modest. Last week, he assumed command of the whole station."
I kind of give Phaedria a little glance like, "Oh God, you didn't really just say that." But let's turn that.
And the parents nod at you, impressed that you were
not
modest about this little
exactly detail. I'm going to be honest. That's not exactly how it happened. The commander was off station on a mission when the actual bombing of the GEM offices took over, and unfortunately, I was the one who had to make the decision to lock down the station in order to get to the bomb site cleared up and to get people treated and to triage and take care of the injured. So technically, yes, I had to assume command because I was the highest ranking Starfleet officer on the ship. But it really was just a matter of sending in a damage team to clean up the mess and making sure the people that could be saved got into the infirmary and were saved. It's not command. Command is a strong word, I think, for what I did.
Okay. Well, you are a very, very interesting man, Doctor. And now I want to jump to Barbara. Barbara, you are getting a call. It is Captain Garl, the Denobulan captain.
Hello, Captain. How may I help you?
Says, "Barbara Draper, do you remember me? And let's have you make a roll."
What am I rolling?
It's going to be... Oh, I keep grabbing the wrong mouse. Ugh. It's going to be insight and something. Let's say insight and security. Oh, you're super strong on that.
2 dice?
2 dice. Yeah, and it's unopposed.
Only 1 success.
Well, you are now recognizing this Denobulan man. You did meet him a few years ago in a seedy bar when he was a lieutenant.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was just partying with his crewmates from his starship. But you were in a Starfleet uniform, and he had a conversation with you. You didn't establish any sort of relationship or anything like that. But yes,
Right.
you did meet this man once upon a time.
Right, but it wasn't anything what I would call extremely memorable.
No, it was not extremely memorable to you.
Okay.
And you don't think he actually knew what you were doing there. You knew what he was doing there. He was on shore leave with his crewmates. You were on an assignment.
Right. Oh, that's right. That bar on whatever the planet
Yes,
was.
exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Hadn't realized I'd made that much of an impression.
So, how have you been doing?
Okay.
I understand that there's a Delton restaurant here at the space station that you favor. Would you be interested in getting together and talking about old times?
It would be a very short conversation, but I'm certainly happy to have dinner.
At the Delton restaurant?
Wait, is the Delton restaurant? No.
Okay, yeah. There's
There's a spice that they use at that restaurant that doesn't agree with me. I'm sorry, I don't usually go there for that reason. I hate to disappoint you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Commander Vita left me with the impression that you loved going there.
Did she? Wow. Apparently she's not aware of my allergy. I'll have to let her know that.
Well, then could we grab a drink at Quark's?
Sure.
Great. Say 10 minutes?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. So, 10 minutes later, Quark's is now becoming kind of a hub of role-playing activity. This young Denobulan captain, who was recently promoted, is sitting at the bar when you get there. Do you want to grab a bar stool next to him? Do you want to get a booth or a table?
No, bar stool's fine.
Oh, okay.
Don't want him to get any wrong ideas.
Okay. He's sitting there sipping a, I don't know, Sumerian sunrise, and Quark says, "What'll you have, Barbara?"
I'll have a Racconcino.
Ractigino coming up. So, Captain Garl says, "You may notice I'm a captain now. Just recently appointed a Galaxy-class starship.
Congratulations. That's quite an honor.
I'd love to show you my starship sometime."
Well, that's
And by Denobulan tradition, when you get, as you achieve higher levels of social status, you're expected to take on more mates.
that's an interesting tradition. Yeah,
I
I come from a culture where you take one mate and you take that mate for life.
Well, I'm currently, let's say, holding tryouts for the position.
I wish you luck.
So you're not interested?
I'm sorry, no.
Okay,
There are some things that I just don't like to share.
fair enough. And as a Denobulan, they automatically get the cultural flexibility thing. Fair enough. I respect your human culture. If you know anyone else who might be interested,
I will certainly let them know.
okay.
I would assume in a lot of cultures, a captain of a Galaxy class starship is quite a catch.
Okay, and now at this moment, I need to ask the crew a question. As you deployed all the player characters to Deep Space Nine or the Defiant or Starship 11, I don't know. Wait, did I put that there? Yes. I know Tinker Bell is, pardon me, running his business of repairing starships at the Kanmaj garage. I don't know where Happy Kucharski is. Did Happy Kucharski get sent on the Defiant or Starship 11?
I thought Happy went on one of the ships. I don't remember
Yeah,
which
I have
one.
notes that Happy went on one of the ships. Hold on, let me look at
I didn't put that in my notes. I don't know which one she's on.
All right, let's see here.
I think she's on the Defiant, but I didn't write it down.
Sorry, I got the kid asking questions about loading the dishwasher. Let's see here. Let's see, USS Breedlove.
The Defiant would kind of make sense, but at the same time, wrong mouse again. At the same time, that's putting your two best helm officers on the same ship.
Yeah, I don't think I would have, but I'm having trouble finding the notes on it.
Well, let's let the players decide it right now.
Yep.
Whatever you decide retroactively is where she is. Is she on Deep Space Nine? Is she on Starship 11? Is she on the Defiant?
Well, I definitely don't think we should have both our good helm people in the same place.
Yeah, so she's. I don't think I would have left her on DS9, so she has to be on the other ship.
She's on Starship 11. Okay,
Oh, all right.
that's fine. Thank you. All right. So, Barbara, while you're sitting there drinking at the bar, you notice Dr. Smith and these four Romulans sitting over there getting a lot of attention. And you, being who you are, automatically know every one of them. You know exactly who they are. You've never met them, but you recognize them. As you're sitting there sipping, talking to this guy who's shopping for wives, are you going to do anything?
I'm going to pay attention to what they're doing and what they're saying.
All right.
As politely as I can without totally blowing off the captain.
Let's have you make an insight plus security roll. 2 dice, unopposed, to try and overhear their conversation. Looking for any focuses or talents that might help.
I don't see anything, but I got a pair of 12, so they're both successes.
Okay.
Hello. What's up?
We just need to get
Okay, yeah. Interrogation doesn't count here.
No, because I'm not talking to
But
them.
Doug, they just got a momentum because she needed one success and she got two. Great. So you overhear the Romulans talking to Dr. Smith about what's this about the Cardassians might be going to war against the Federation?
Civilians.
Yeah, this is
This is not like general knowledge, right? This is stuff he shouldn't be telling to, important members of other races.
to them.
I didn't say the Kardashians are going to war with the Federation.
Yeah, Dr. Smith didn't say it.
Oh,
It was
okay.
the Romulans asking it. They heard a rumor, and they're hoping he can put the rumor to rest.
Which I kind of did. I said I don't know anything about that. If anything's happening, I'm sure that they're being manipulated.
But we don't now. I'm trying to remember when I was in the system, all this money that was embezzled by Keen. Did that include some of the money that they were getting for these starships that they're supposed to be selling everybody cheap?
No, that was
Okay.
not part of what was embezzled.
Okay, so it's just the gambling profits for the games that aren't going to happen now.
Well, the gambling, the ticket sales, there was a lot of
Right.
money involved in that.
Right,
and-
right. But it's strictly money associated with the games, not this business enterprise.
And actually, nobody's really sure what's going to happen with those games since the founders were cut off.
I've kind of been thinking about doing some digging on those cheap starship places to see if they actually have what they're selling.
Okay. Well,
But-
you did get into the GEM systems, and
I did, and I left myself a little
Yeah.
hole to get back in.
you did leave a hole to get back in. And what you saw, the production schedules, the inventories, the labor allocations, it looked completely legit. Like these ships are being built and bought and paid for and shipped
Now-
off to the customers.
At what level do they look legit?
You didn't find anything that looked
Okay, so I'm confident that it's legit, or do I think that it could use a little bit of looking closer?
There's something
Well-
as too clean.
Yeah, you didn't say you were digging that
Right.
deeply into it, but what you saw looked like you would expect it to look in
Okay.
your, I think, galactic banking and finances stuff, the
Yeah.
accounting, all looked exactly like you would expect it to look.
Okay. I may want to take a trip back in there at some point just to make sure. Because something, I mean, I guess they make all that money off the war, but these people are about the money.
Hmm.
And they don't necessarily care about being upfront on or legal in how they're getting it, hence the massive embezzlement. And you might find it surprising that people who embezzle that kind of money make me think that they might not be honest people in other dealings.
Hmm.
Maybe that's just me.
That could be, but you're not actually talking to anybody with the game master right now, right?
No, I
You're
know,
not
I know. I'm
talking
just
to
kinda-
Captain
I'm
Darrell
just-
about this. Okay.
Right. No, I'm kind of running it in my head to see what
Yeah.
I know, what I don't know, so I know
Mhm.
what. Okay. Well, I want to listen to this conversation. I don't want to bring attention to myself that I'm actively listening, because that's kind of rude, especially since they don't know who I am. I'd like to keep
Do I
it
know
that
who
way.
you are?
Yes.
Have I met Barbara Draper yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. You all
Don't
took
you
that-
remember? Don't you remember Xerxes?
Oh yes, of course. Well, how could anyone forget Xerxes?
Yeah. Does he know about Xerxes?
Does Captain Garl know?
No. Does the doctor
I was
know
Xerxes.
what the rumors are about
I was Xerxes.
Um,
I know that. Does the doctor know
What
about
rumors
the
about
rumors about
Xerxes? I know
Xerxes?
nothing about Xerxes.
There was one hint. There was one hint while you were gone when Jal discovered that there was an actual criminal record for Xerxes
Really?
in the Federation database.
How could there be a criminal record for a guy whose name I literally made up 5 minutes before?
Well, they were blaming that he has actually. There was some rumors that he had taken responsibility for the bombing of Geta Enterprises.
Okay, this is absolutely news to me.
Now, the two of you are not actually
Yes.
having
No,
a conversation.
we're not.
Because I'd be
No.
losing my shit right
But-
now if we were.
I just wanted to know if the character had heard about the rumors. That's
I
all.
assure you, the doctor has been busy and distracted with other stuff the last 48 hours. So no, he has not heard any rumors about the dude that he made up, this bullshit character he made up just for shits and giggles last week for like an hour.
Okay.
But on one level, he's kind of impressed by that. That's just, I got skills, man. But
All right, but yes, you do know who Barbara is.
okay, that's well, good because okay. Anyways, you're gonna hear me. You're gonna hear me try to live one of you're about to overhear me trying to fulfill one of my darkest fantasies. But anyways,
Okay, now, up in ops. Doug, take away one more threat. Something's happening.
oh, you're just a sweet boy. Yes, you are.
And what's happening is you're getting a call from Starfleet Command.
This is Vita.
Vita, we are contacting you on a secure channel to let you know that Starfleet Academy Professor Sabe Traz has escaped custody.
What?
We
We just can't win right now, can we?
We're not sure how it happened. Starfleet security is baffled. There's no way that he or his crazy Bajoran faction had the resources to pull off something like this. We can only guess that it was Section 31.
Are you
So-
saying Section 31 is moving against the Federation?
Starfleet released him.
That guy failed me in my interstellar relations class, and I almost lost my scholarship. Fuck that guy.
Okay. We will I'll have Constable Joel put out a bolo in case he shows face here, and we will. Fortunately, I don't think he can get to the crew member who was attacked. So I hope there's no wood on this starship. All right. Any other information you were able to glean while you had him in custody?
He was a Bajoran. He is a Bajoran who was fanatically devoted to Benjamin Sisko as the emissary. We presume, as a Bajoran, he's probably headed back to Bajor, back to your sector. And we're not sure what his plans may be. We're very shocked that he was able to escape.
Under what kind of conditions did he escape? If we capture him, how careful do we need to be about holding him?
We don't think he engineered his own escape at all.
Okay. So you think it was
But-
engineered from without?
It may have, we doubt it was the Bajorans. Starfleet Security says it was probably Section 31, maybe the Obsidian Order or the Tal Shiar,
Jeez.
but it was not likely to be the radical Bajorans. And we have no idea why or how any of these outside factions would have cared.
Well,
But
thank you for the update, and I will, at the first opportunity, let our I'm not even sure what to refer to him as. He's not really a crew member, is he? Our guests know, and we will increase security accordingly. Thank you.
okay, be on the lookout. Starfleet out. And with that, the wormhole opens and Starship 11 emerges with Dracoon on board.
Ah, just the person I need to talk to. I hail Dracoon. Dracoon.
Yes.
Okay, you know that wingnet guy at Starfleet Academy who sent Bajorans after you?
He's safely incarcerated and I'm safe, right?
That would be a negative. He has escaped, and he seems to have powerful friends who are good at espionage. Good enough that they don't even know who helped him. I mean, we're getting rumors of Section 31, or maybe the Obsidian Order, or maybe the Tal Shiar.
Okay,
So,
so I need the Federation version of how we would handle this in the Dominion. Which
How
would
would
be
you
to get
handle it
two
in the Dominion?
Jem'Hadar to follow me around.
I don't know. I
mean, I can probably go borrow some.
Yeah, you might be safer with Jem'Hadar than anybody.
Oh,
I can.
Hold on, let's quote that in the future.
Well, think about it for a moment. If I get Constable Joel, almost anybody he's going to send has spent time near or around Bajor. And so even if they're not Bajoran, they may not be safe.
While I might be safer with a couple of Jem'Hadar around, everyone around me won't.
All right. Ooh, I know. We'll ask Manny, and Manny will ask the Klingons.
I'm not even sure where to go with that.
It's the closest the Federation comes to Jem'Hadar.
What about... So the thing is, I respect Joel if he gives me a couple
what?
securities that he vouches for.
All right. Well, we'll
I mean, can't he just, like, on the questionnaire have, do you want to kill Dracoon? Which emissary is the correct one? Shouldn't this be normal?
It's not normal times, Dracoon.
As soon as we have some, let me know.
Okay. In the meantime, stay on 11.
Okay, sounds reasonable. By the way, we completely blew our mission.
Oh dear, tell me.
I just did.
We needed Barbara to help us lie.
Okay.
Okay.
owns the place and wouldn't even let us get near it.
All right. You need Barbara to help you get some more information?
Well, probably.
All right. Hold on a moment. Ops to Barbara Draper. Barbara, I hate to interrupt you during your off time, but Dracoon and the crew on Starship 11 need some assistance. I can't hear you, sweetie. And Vito wouldn't say sweetie, sorry.
Okay. I'll be right there, Captain.
Okay.
Commander.
Well, you're going to have to beam over. They're not docking.
Why aren't
It's a long story.
what?
Wait, I'm being.
Why aren't we docking?
Where am I going?
Two streams at once going, what? Wait.
I don't want 11 docked on DS9 right now until we find the nutcase.
What nutcase?
I put up a conference call. Barbara, just keep your eyes on the
Are they
lookout
Covenant?
for what's his name? Hold on. I have it right here in front of me. Siba Traz, the guy who is teaching at the Starfleet Academy. He's
The
on
guy
the
who
loose.
was in Starfleet custody?
Yes, he's on the loose and may have been released either by Section 31, the Obsidian Order, or the Tal Shiar. So we're talking Starfleet's kind of freaked out.
What's Section 31
Oh,
from a player standpoint?
yeah. It's basically Black Ops.
What
Uh,
race?
Take your pick.
CIA dirty tricks, like dirty tricks.
Ah, okay.
Federation?
Yes.
Okay.
Though not necessarily under Federation orders. They do their own thing. They're like a Contra fund.
So people I know nothing about.
Barbara, who is not a spy, yes.
Intelligence officer.
All right. So I don't want, because of that, I don't want Dracoon with anybody having any vaguely even easy access to Dracoon. So you're going to have to beam over
Oh, okay.
when he's close enough.
Oh, they're close enough. And assuming everybody's going to drop their shields, it's a piece of cake. I want to point out that Mani, your Klingon, is far away and getting farther away, as is Bob Newhart, your badass human security guard.
Boy,
Yes,
that
I
would
know.
have
That's bad planning on my part. I thought the man was in custody. What do you want?
A pony.
I thought I'd done my job. All right, Dracoon, Barbara is yours at your nearest convenience.
You seem to enjoy giving me over to men today, Commander.
Well, you know, I just was surprised. I thought maybe he was talking about another Barbara when he said security,
Damn it.
intelligence.
I'd really like to know how he figured that out.
I would like to know how I didn't know, but we will discuss that when you return.
Okay, so let's jump back to the Defiant and wrap up what's happening there. The GEM ships have rescued the Federation transport and repaired it. It is getting underway, and they are getting underway. They have resumed course for the Mutara sector. Are you going to continue to follow them?
Wait, so they rescued the ship. What was wrong with the transport?
Main power failure.
Anything look really unusual about that?
Yes, we are.
Was it like a legitimate power failure? But they weren't doing anything clandestine?
Your lap lock.
Yeah, I'm the engineer.
You're the engineer, yeah. Well, are you going to make an engineering observation? You're saying?
Well, if they were suffering the power failure that they say they were, is that everything consistent with that? I
Yes.
guess would be the
Yes.
question. Okay. So it looked like a legitimate power failure. Okay.
Yes.
And they were legitimately offering aid. Then
It does
I'm not sure-
appear so, yes.
So I'm not sure why are we following these guys? Are they doing anything clandestine?
They look sus as hell.
Yeah.
They
Well,
keep
yeah,
changing
you're
what they're doing.
You're no longer close enough that you can get an easy subspace contact with each other. You could probably get in relayed contact, and there would be some hours delay to talk about it. But remember, Mani recognized the voice of someone on board the ship.
Oh, this is Keen, right? Who's wanted for, well, he's not wanted for terrorism, but could be
Right, that
investigated
sounded
for
like
terrorism.
Keen, and isn't Keen missing?
It sounded like Keen.
Yeah, and Keen is a she.
No, I thought he was missing. There was an explosion, and we never found him.
We never found her.
I'm sorry.
And
So she's
and she
missing.
clearly set us up to send us in the wrong direction at one point. So she is
Missing,
not being trusted.
missing presumed fled with all the money.
You never found Keen, but if you'll remember back in the Gamma Quadrant at what was the name of that space station? I got that in my notes here. Remember that space station where you tripped on the medical cart? As you were leaving there, you saw a founder give
Yes.
authority to Keen, the person you thought was dead. There was a public announcement for the whole
Okay.
Gamma Quadrant
Mm-hmm.
that this founder was giving Keen authority.
Wow, I completely forgot about that.
So you did see that Keen wasn't
So
dead.
I say we continue to follow. Now you say we're.
Yes? What?
I don't remember that. I must have hit that cart harder than I thought.
You were all there.
So okay. So we're still within relay though. So it just might take some time for DS9 to get it right, and then time for them to respond.
Yes.
So I say we continue to follow, but we relay a message back to DS9 because even if they say cut it off and come back, we can still do that as long as they don't see us. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to send a message
Okay.
to DS9. I'm going to tell them we're still following the Dominion ship. It appears we suspect that Keen is on the ship. And then I also will mention that they did rescue a Federation transport that was sent out of Mayday, and they helped them repair their ship, and doesn't look like there was any funny business going on. But we will continue to follow and observe the Dominion ship until we hear otherwise.
Okay. And in a few hours, that message will reach Deep Space Nine. Anyone else on the Defiant going to do anything right at this point? That's Bob Newhart and Laplock are also on board. And yeah, that's right. Happy Kucharski is on Starship 11.
Are you staying the course or turning around?
No, we are staying the course. That's why I sent the message.
Okay, so now we've got a collection of characters on Starship 11. I think
Mm-hmm.
the only two player characters left at Deep Space Nine then would be Vita and Dr. Smith, unless either of you is getting on Starship 11 or jumping in a runabout or something at this moment.
Nope, it's my job to be here.
I'm kind of occupied right now, Mike. Thanks.
Okay. So we've got Barbara now on Starship 11. What are you guys going to do?
First, unmute yourself.
First, we'll turn off mute.
And there's one more person I want to point out is on board Starship 11 among your NPCs.
Do they have a knife?
Ooh.
Just curious.
No. It's Bayjan.
My
Bayjan-
fanboy?
Bayjan is your fanboy.
Oh, cool.
He's a Paradan, which means a Dominion citizen, which means a Dominion person that nobody in the Dominion realizes is on board your ship. And
File this one.
he
Gonna ask
loves
to see how
you.
That helps us.
All right. So tell me what happened.
So we went to this planet where we had the information regarding the statues. It is currently owned by GEM, and in short, they kicked us out. We tried to blow some smoke. It didn't work.
So would that guy that tried to kill you, the fanatic, would he be possibly considered an expert in the whole emissary thing?
I'm sure he thinks he is.
Expert enough for the Dominion to kidnap for his knowledge?
I like the way you think. Were you a Vorta in a past life?
Oh no.
Your ears are far too small.
So let me do some checking and see what I can find out about that planet.
All right, so you're going to try to find out. You want to look at Ea Norana?
I want to go through the gem multiplicities system
Okay.
and see how they acquired a planet,
Who acquired a scepter?
when they acquired it, and if there's any information there on what they're planning on doing with it.
Okay, well, GEM owns lots of stuff, and yeah, they've been working in this system for over a year now. So in the GEM record, you can see something pretty awful happened a couple of months ago, or was it a couple of weeks ago? We discussed this last time. And they had to abandon the system because these crazy energy creatures had taken over a Jem'Hadar ship.
Right, the Pares, we figured.
Yes.
And they asked us for help on how to get rid of them.
Yes.
Okay, and so we told them, and so they got rid of the Pares so that they can now investigate what they're doing.
So yes, they had been doing some investigations for a while. That's when they found the statues and some other things that they uncovered. And then somehow they had released these awful energy creatures, which almost did a lot of damage to the Gamma Quadrant, to Dominion space. But somebody in Starfleet told Keen the secret to dispatching the Pah-wraiths.
Hey, that was us.
Sorry.
No, I don't think that was a bad thing.
Yeah,
I'm not
we
sure.
probably saved some lives.
I no matter what's going on, rampaging Pah-wraiths not being part of it is a good thing.
Imagine rampaging Pah-wraith Jem'Hadar.
Ooh, okay. I don't apologize anymore. I take that back.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
All right. So can I get any information on the extraction of the Wacko from Starfleet?
You are in the GEM system, and there is no information about that.
Right. I didn't think. Yeah. Okay. I want to focus on what's going on in that planet, and what I want to try to do is find a way to make Dracoon and his ship have a reason to be there.
Well, you can make it look like a GEM ship.
Oh,
Oh,
that's easy.
there we go.
Your
Doesn't she need a permit?
what was the question? You'll have to make some rolls, and your attempt might fail, and everyone might die, but you could make it look like a GEM ship.
But that's good adventure.
So
If there's not a potential for everybody dying, it's just boring.
can she also fake the registration? Because wasn't that the thing?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
That would be the point.
Sorry, I missed
Yes.
that part.
And since I pride myself on perfect paperwork, especially when it's fake,
Yes.
So we would show up in the ship 11 and claim to be, oh, our registry has changed. We're now owned by GEM.
No, we wouldn't be the ship 11. Our ship
Oh,
would not
okay.
be the Nolaith anymore.
right? It's already a Dominion ship. We just changed the name.
Oh, okay.
And whatever sort of transponder thing.
Right.
And also put in records of this ship in GEM's corporate records. So let's have a look. Wrong mouse again. Barbara's trying something pretty bold.
So
Yep.
Okay, what is our cover story when we show up? Are we bringing supplies? Are we, do we have a message from Keen? And are we?
Okay, I have a question. If we make the assumption, which could be incorrect, that the Dominion are the ones that got what's his name out, how long before they could get him there the quickest?
Get him where? Get who where?
Get if what I think is right, and I may not be, and the Dominion swiped what's his name away from Starfleet, and they're bringing him to that planet to do investigation of the stuff. How long before he would get there?
Well, he would have to get to the Bajor sector, to the wormhole, and then from there, an hour at maximum warp or so. And getting from there to the wormhole is probably a couple of days, 2 days.
So chances are, if we went straight there, we would get there first.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So how's this? How about we're bringing the rescued expert from Starfleet?
Okay.
It's a good thought unless you're wrong.
True.
This nutbag scientist, I don't recall who he is. Who?
He believes that Cisco is the one true emissary.
Uh-huh.
And he is the one who made the girl stab me with that knife thing.
Okay.
Remember when I got stabbed? Right
Professor
there.
Sabe Traz.
Yeah, stabbing.
What's his race?
He's a Bajoran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you haven't figured out, Bajorans are not to be trusted. And probably any other species that's been hanging around Bajorans.
Okay.
Joel being an exception.
Yeah. They attempted to convert Joel to their side, but Joel successfully resisted.
That's
And
good to know.
Joel's currently on. Is he on 11? The ship?
Yes, Joel is on Starship 11, but
So if we slightly altered his appearance, then he might pass as the doctor. Whatever.
Well, having seen the DS9 episode where they made everybody look like Klingons, I think making a human look like a Bajoran is probably pretty easy.
Joel is a Bajoran.
He is a Bajoran.
yeah, he is a Bajoran.
Right, but he's not here. I mean,
The
and
player isn't here, but he is.
True.
The character is actually on Starship 11.
Yeah, but I think him trying to fake his way through being an expert in anything other than is probably not that high.
Well, he knows the Bajoran religion
True.
and basic Bajoran stuff.
That sounded really bad, by the way. Just saying.
It'd be kind of like the Blues Brothers at the beginning of the movie where they're talking to the nun and they're not very good about religion, but
Okay. I mean, I can talk the science. He can look like a Bajoran. I just.
Or we can make you look like a Bajoran.
That was more my thought.
Okay.
Because, you know, that guy was a professor. You have the same title.
And I also have, all right.
It's indicative
I
of
also
some
have
sort
the
of.
yeah,
cultural flexibility. So
yeah. The thing you've got on Sabe Traz is as soon as he was arrested, they took away his tenure. You still have tenure.
Yes, I still have tenure.
Oh, if he's got tenure, he can't possibly do it. All right. Okay, so I have to do this stuff to make the ship look like, but is there anything that I can find in the GEM database knowing that what I'm looking for is not going to say this, it's going to be couched in code and whatever, whether or not they were responsible for rescuing, or whether or not they're bringing in an expert? Because I want something. This is what basing this all on my conjecture is stupid. I just need a little bit of proof.
Make a roll. Make insight plus security.
Okay. Should I be adding something to this?
Well, you're trying to. I don't see a focus that works on. Well, hacking. You're already hacked into the system, though. You're literally just looking something up.
Why don't you just put in orders?
But, well, make a roll to see if you can find this information. Are you going to? What do you mean by put in orders?
Put in something that an expert is coming. So when
Right.
Danak checks, you know, it's going to be there.
First roll and see if you can find evidence that an expert is coming.
Two successes.
You find no evidence that an expert is coming.
Okay. Now I'm going to put in evidence that an expert is coming.
Okay.
Well, evidence or just a flat out order.
Right. I want to put in something so that when we say, here we are, this is the ship, we're bringing this expert, he's supposed to be there, and they look it up, there it is.
Okay. You're going to do that again.
I don't think this is faking credentials. That'll be when I try to change all the stuff on the ship.
Yeah, so we're going to do two things. First, you're going to roll insight plus security for that sticking the mission into the records, the GEM records, that an expert is coming.
Okay, 10 out of 5.
And wait, don't roll it yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't roll it yet.
Unroll those.
I
This-
unrolled them.
This is going to be, both of these are going to be difficulty 3.
Ooh.
The second one is going to be the ship's fake credentials.
Right. And that one I've
Well,
got.
That one's going to be daring plus security.
Okay. But on that one, I have the fake paperwork and the faking various credentials. So I have two
Right.
things to help me with that one. The first one is going to be the really hard one.
Yes, and you're going to have to decide whether you're going to use any momentum or if you have any talents or focuses or
Okay. Well, I have focuses and values for the second one. So I'm not as worried about that one. The
you
first
have
one.
values.
For the second one, I have the I pride myself on perfect paperwork, especially when it's fake, and then the faking various credentials, which is a focus.
Now, if you're going to use a value, that lets you use a point of determination.
Okay.
You have 1 point of determination per play session.
Okay.
If you burn a point of determination, It's automatically 2 successes.
Okay. All right. But I don't think either of those things affect the first one, right? My first trying to put the
Yeah.
information in the system those don't apply.
No, that doesn't apply to trying to put the information in the system. Let me bring
Okay.
up your full character sheet here.
Because that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I'm looking at an abbreviated copy of your character sheet. Oh, come on, there we are. And now I brought up 2 copies. Great. All right. Yes. Paperwork when it's fake. So you can use your determination spend. And another thing to remember is you can earn extra determination by questioning a value.
Okay.
Or going against a value, burning a value. And that might be something that I could definitely see Dr. Smith doing that in the near future.
Like what? Wait, what did I do now?
Nothing yet.
I'm letting you know that I consider you to have a value burn coming up, probably, although it's completely up to you. You get an extra point of determination if you burn a value. And the value I can see you burning is the whole, I really, really hate space stations. I want to be on a starship value. So at some point in this adventure, you could burn that value and use it for lots of extra successes. Although anybody could burn any value they want at any time if it fits the story.
Huh. Well, I am starting to warm up to life on a space station. It's true.
Okay. So let's get back to these important roles to find out what happens with Starship 11. So Barbara is looking at insight plus security, needing 3 successes. If you've got a focus that can work,
Yeah, not on the first one.
well,
I don't know. I'm looking at them. We're not. Am I faking credentials to put that information in there?
you're making up a fake expert and a fake mission.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to say creative writing applies.
Okay.
So that gives you the chance of double success.
Okay. And since I'm using security, can I use bold? Because this is kind of important to spend the threat to make that
All right, let's
to
look.
make sure this works. Because if this doesn't work, we're kind of screwed. This is
Right.
our. So I can use my bold security, correct?
Yeah, I think bold though. Wrong keyboard. Wrong mouse, wrong keyboard. I keep doing this stuff. So to do that, you all you have to do is add to threat. Give me a point of threat, and you can use your bold.
Okay. I think at this point it's kind of worth it because
Okay,
a
Doug,
lot rides on this,
Add 1 to my threat pool.
and that gives me an extra die,
Mhm.
and I have double successes, right? Because of the
No, it does not give you an extra die.
no. The creative writing gives me double successes because it's a focus.
Yes,
Okay.
but also the bold lets you re-roll one of the dice.
Okay.
So you're rolling 2 dice, you get to re-roll one of them, and you get double successes.
Okay. So spending the threat for bold doesn't give me an extra die; it just allows me to re-roll one.
Well, I'm reading in here. Yeah, you may re-roll one of the 2 dice.
Okay. Wait, it says when you buy one or more, but in order to do this, you have to buy another D20 adding to threat, which gives me
Right.
3.
Oh, you're right. You buy a D20 adding to threat. That's right. And you get to re-roll. That's
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
You roll 3 dice. You get to re-roll,
And I double the successes.
and you double successes.
Oh, I'm re-rolling that 20.
Oh yeah, good idea.
All right. So they're all successes.
They're all
'Cause- yeah.
regular successes. Okay,
They're all regular successes.
that means you got 6 successes.
Yes.
You needed 3. Doug, they get 3 points of momentum out of that. And you have a pretty darn legit mission put into the system.
Okay. So now I'm doing the paperwork to make sure that we match what I just did.
Yes. And this one is a little harder because
Right.
your target is your daring plus security, not your
Right.
insight plus security. So that
Right.
is
And I have the focus and faking credentials.
target of
And
12.
I have the value of priding myself on perfect paperwork.
Which means you're burning your point of determination for today.
Yep.
All
And
right.
now burning the point of determination does what?
Automatic
It-
successes.
2 automatic successes.
Okay. Okay.
So one of your dice is automatically 2 successes.
Okay. And is that including the double for faking credentials? Or does it make one of my
No.
dice automatically 4 successes?
No, we're not going to say that. Although
I had to ask. I
that
didn't
isn't
figure.
that isn't something that had come up before, but
Okay. So I'm rolling 2 dice,
and
one of
are
which
you,
is
are
automatic.
you buying anything with momentum or threat?
Oh, I just gave us like 3 momentum, right?
Yes.
So I might as well spend one.
Okay, then you can roll 2 dice because one of your regular dice is automatically 2 successes. You don't even have to roll one of the dice.
Okay. So now I roll 2 dice
Roll 2 dice. So and yep, Doug took
and then
momentum.
double those successes
Yes.
and then add the 2 successes. Okay. Because this one is harder.
This one is harder.
7 and 5. So that's 2 successes, 4 successes, 6 successes. Woo.
All right. So Doug, they're back up to 6 momentum. That's the maximum. And
Okay, I'm done for today.
and your ship. I need to ask a couple of questions about. You talked about what the mission was. You didn't talk about what your ship is. Is it? It can't be Starship 11 now. What are you going to call it?
Desmond.
Let's ask the Vorta Dracoon. You tell us what it should be called now.
The 14. They name them in
Okay, then.
order by number.
Barbara? What you could do is you're looking in the GEM records of ships. You could pick a ship that's
I'll pick one that's this class.
that's this class and real, but not actually here.
Right. Because that would be inconvenient.
Okay, so just roll 2 20-sided dice and add them together, and that'll be the number that is available.
25.
All right, this is Starship 25. So Starship 11 is pretending to be Starship 25. You are rolling back into the Eon Narana system.
Now, are we going to have Droth surgically altered to look Bajoran?
Well,
Well,
do they even know that this guy is Bajoran? If we just show us, oh, I'm Professor such and such, are they even gonna know or care?
yeah.
On the Bajoran religion?
Yes.
You have an actual Bajoran on board.
Yeah, I still like the idea of yeah.
Yeah, let's
Using
use
him.
Joel. You should use Joel.
Okay.
But one of the main things is the base is about to hail you. Who's going to appear on the screen and talk to them? Because they just talked to Dracoon a couple of
Yeah,
hours ago,
Not me.
and
Not it.
they know he was bullshitting.
Yes, but he is also a clone.
He is a clone.
Yeah, no, not doing it.
I agree. I don't think it's a good idea.
He's a good boy.
No, it'd be probably Joel. Yeah.
You're going to have a Bajoran commanding the Starship 25?
A Dominion ship?
No, we have a Dominion person with us.
Yes, we do. That's right.
You have the little fanboy.
We have my fanboy.
You have
And-
Bajan. And it's
Bajan,
perfectly believable that a Paradan would have a job on this ship. Yes.
Bajan, you have a very important mission.
Oh, what would you like me to do, sir?
You need to pretend to be the captain.
I've always wanted to be a captain.
Excellent.
Yeah. He is an officer. He's a chief engineer already. I mean, he kind of knows what to do. He's probably been put in command of a ship before, at least temporarily.
So we have filled him in on what is
Yeah.
going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you need me to kind of screw around with those guys from GEM?
Yes.
You can get Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, you might want to mute it there, dude.
I'm sorry.
No.
Dr. Smith apparently. is
Everybody
quite
can
fond of
hear
his-
you saying
Hello.
good.
To your
I'm
cat.
playing with my cat.
Sweet.
I'm sorry.
Nothing's to the dogs.
Oh, don't apologize. You think it's hilarious.
Good boy. Yes, he is. He's a great boy.
Either that or he's talking to the Romulans.
He's a good boy.
Yes.
I love you, kitty.
Okay. So I really don't want to role play two NPCs talking to each other. We're just going to say Bajan is successful. Bajan does what you told him to do. He bluffs his way in. He says, yes, we are here delivering the expert that the corporation is sending for you. And Dynac says, expert? What expert? Oh, yeah, you're right. The corporation's sending an expert on your ship. And it's supposed to arrive right now. I didn't realize you were coming. How did I miss that on my schedule for the day? Okay, yeah, you may
Tell him
dock,
because he's incompetent.
you may dock at port number 3. And so channel closed, and he said, did I do okay?
Excellent. Well done.
All right, so you are now about to dock at this Dominion space station. I just want to point out that they're kind of expecting, since you're a Dominion ship in Dominion space owned by Geta Enterprises Multiplicities, they're expecting the entire crew to be Dominion people. Not sure what's going to happen,
Well,
but
Yeah, I'm going to predict the reaction is going to be less than positive.
well, we have myself, we have Bajan, we have our expert and his retinue.
that's true. The expert might have a Federation retinue.
And I
So,
don't believe it's any of theirs to question it.
so you now are docked at this space station, and Dynac meets you at the airlock.
I will have changed clothes, by the way.
That's a good idea. You're dressed as in Vorta outfit
Yeah.
instead of Starfleet or Bajoran outfit. That's good. And who goes through the airlock?
Well, probably Bajan and me.
Okay, Bajan and you go through. You've got Eyal, Jal, Giraffe, and Happy Kucharski also. Who makes up the retinue?
The player
How is that
characters.
not a retinue?
What was that?
How you just listed off a bunch of us? How is that not a retinue?
Are all of you leaving the ship and going onto the base?
I don't think that's a good plan. I will be the timid assistant.
Well, I believe all we really need is Joel, Droff, and Barbara. Who else is with us? Anyone?
So Droff is coming along with you? Well, that leaves Eyal and Happy Kucharski aboard the ship.
Sounds good. Happy's
All
pretty
right.
competent.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, that since
I don't know Eyal very well.
since Happy Kucharski is a non-com, that automatically puts Eyal in command.
I forgot Eyal was ULA.
It's okay.
I had enough trouble remembering your first character's names, then you throw
I know.
another one on me.
That's okay. I get it. I was just amused that you specifically said happy and said nothing about y'all.
I thought Eyal was some other NPC. I'm sorry. Hey, I get Vicky's name wrong occasionally, so you know.
It only bothers me when I get confused for one of the dogs.
Okay, so you're on this space station, and they say, now, are we arranging quarters for you, or will you be staying on your own ship? And how long will you be staying?
Let us confer with our expert here. It basically, all right, so yeah. Until he's satisfied, apparently.
Okay. So then we will arrange quarters for you. And this guy's DNAC is one of the orange guys. He's the muscular orange guys. And he waves, and another Dominion lackey takes you to a corridor in the station where you all have quarters, and says, if you need access to any of our facilities, let us know. We will put it on the schedule.
All right, so now we just need to find out where the artifacts are.
So
And also, what
are you going
technology
to-
they were talking about?
Are you going to ask them? What are you going to do?
Yes. We do need to know where to go to start our investigations.
Well, we could take you to the science section.
Well,
All right. So
Yeah, I'm not having objections there.
they have a lackey escort you to the science section where there are several science labs in the station. And let's look at, wrong mouse again. Let's look at Droff here. All right. There is a science lab here that obviously has some ancient artifacts in it. The first lab you pass. Do you want to go in there and have a look?
I don't see
I
why
don't know.
not.
That seems a little too obvious.
Wait, what?
They have no reason to hide anything here because they're keeping people away.
Yeah, as far as they know, you're all working for the same company.
Yeah, but okay.
You're here to help them.
Real scientists would ignore the really cool artifacts and immediately ask, "Okay, let me see your research data."
Ah,
But
okay.
this isn't real science. This is Star Trek.
This is Star Trek, exactly.
We just reverse the polarity, call it a day.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the next lab, there are 3 labs. The next lab appears to have in it a lot of data analysis going on. There are
All right,
people.
I'll step in there and just sort of observe what they're going through and see if anything pops out at me. The other guys can go look at the pot shards or whatever.
Okay. And the third lab is the darkest and emptiest of all the labs. There's only a couple of people working in here. And there's some kind of locked chamber in there, from what you can tell.
All right.
So you've got, and you don't see this, Droff. You went into the data analysis lab. So
Okay.
the other characters, you see the lab that's obviously got some ancient stone artifacts in it. And you see the data analysis lab where Droff is geeking out. And you see this other lab with a locked chamber in it that has a couple of people, and it's not a very bright lab.
Computer equipment?
The computer equipment is in the second lab, in the
Okay.
data analysis one where Droff is.
Okay.
Well, we have an expert. We need to know what's going on.
Well, I will tell you, I will role play Jal a little bit. And Jal says, "Oh my gosh, those look like ancient Bajoran tablets. I would like to get a look at those artifacts."
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, so while Droff is in the data analysis lab, the rest of you are going into the artifact lab.
Yes.
Sure.
All right.
I am taking copious notes.
And you have suddenly just lost the services of Dracoon as soon as you walk in there. Dracoon is just standing there, staring off into space. And Dracoon, suddenly you find yourself transported to the operations center of Deep Space Nine. And yes, and
Oh no.
Mani is there, and Mani says, "It is the Dracoon. He has come. Why are you here?"
Since it's question asking time, why did you make me the emissary?
And then Dr. Smith appears and says he still believes it is linear.
Ah, I've always been the emissary and I haven't been the emissary. Is it one of those things?
The emissary is learning, or I'm sorry, they don't use the word emissary. They say the Dracoon is learning. And they talk to each other and say, this is what they call growth. And
Wait, you didn't bring me here?
you brought yourself here.
Well, that's interesting. We were just going to investigate some Bajoran artifacts.
It is your destiny to bring yourself here. And now you find yourself floating in space.
Totally not freaking out.
Total empty space. You're not dead. You're not explosive decompressing. You don't recognize the constellations, but it's not solid blackness. There are stars and wonders around you. And coming at you are two enormous spheres linked to each other. And they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can't believe the size of these things. They're like the size of moons. And behind them, linked to that, are two more. And it's coming at you and passing over you.
That was similar to one of my first visions, wasn't it?
You have had this vision before, but you were standing on a planet looking up. And this thing is now passing over you, and it is so enormous. Each of these spheres is the size of a Borg cube, and there are so many of these things. This must be 1,000 kilometers long. And then, let's say, Jaal is hovering in space next to you or in front of you. And Jaal says, "We are of Bajor." And Jaal is a Bajoran.
Yes,
Right.
that's not a hard
But-
sell, yeah.
You are of Bajor.
You are of Bajor.
Some of the Bajorans don't agree.
They are of Bajor.
Do you see Bajor as merely a planet, a culture, a people, or is there more to it to you than that?
They must know you. That is how they will know you. You are of Bajor.
Which means I can't keep hiding away.
Tell them you are of Bajor when you must. And then you're standing in the lab again.
Total stagger. Try to grab something.
Yeah. And
Had a conversation.
the scientists are saying, what the hell just happened to him? In however Dominion people say hell. What in the name of the founders just happened to him?
It was a Vorta thing. You don't need to understand. I'm going back to the ship. Well, wait. No,
Might be a good idea.
I'll be okay here. That's fine. Have someone bring some water, please.
Okay.
Yep.
We will bring you some water. Now, I don't want to role play this out too much without having Adam here to play Jaal,
Right.
because he's supposed to fake being the expert here, and that could be really funny for him. So let's do a little jumping to the Defiant, which is still following these other ships, and we're going to say you're now getting close to the Mutara sector. Now, the Mutara sector very famously had a nebula a really, really, really long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
In ancient times, back when Kirk was flying around the galaxy, practicing cowboy diplomacy. And then that nebula got wiped out. And for a brief time, it was like the most secure, secret, hands-off part of the entire Federation, of the entire Alpha Quadrant, because some kind of spontaneous solar system appeared there. But then the whole thing self-destructed, and it became just this meaningless, empty sector that nobody cares much about anymore. Every now and then a science vessel comes through and they do a little scanning and research. There are many big questions about what happened in the Mutara sector, but it's basically this empty, empty sector. And you're still, we're going to say, a couple of days out. But who's on the Defiant? You don't have a science officer. You got security, engineering, and, well, I guess Khan. That's going to be Mani. Mani, I would like you to roll control plus science. This is a difficulty 2. You think you've picked up something on sensors.
2 or 1.
So are you going to burn any momentum or anything?
7 and 11.
7 and
No,
11?
7 and 11. That's 2 successes.
That is 2
Or
successes.
no, wait, that's a 1.
Oh,
No, 7 and a 1.
7 and a 1. That's 3 successes. Okay. Well, then you have detected more than just.
That's a 1. Yeah. Woo!
All right. You picked up a ship on sensors, and you are really, 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 really far away from this ship. You've actually never picked up a ship on sensors this far out before. It must be a very, very, very big ship. It appears to be not moving. And it appears to be made up, and this is the part you get out of your extra success. There's these 2 gigantic spheres attached to 2 more gigantic spheres, attached to 2 more gigantic spheres, and it's got to be 1,000 kilometers long. And it's sitting there dead in space. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Okay.
And by the way, the GEM ships you're following are headed straight for it.
Oh,